show forever.
Hey.
Oh, hey you, come on, sit down. You're sitting at the grown-ups table. I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinell, and as always, my partner in crime,
John Jacobs.
Thank you. And have a wonderful Wednesday to all you guys. I'm excited for this show because this week, okay, first off, it's October. So that's my favorite season of the year. Step one. Step two, I'm filming my comedy special this Saturday. So I'm jazzed out of my mind. And then we get a October with a Friday the 13th in it. What?
I know. And it's my daughter's birthday. She was born on October 13th.
Get out of here. That's awesome. So
remember we did the 10-year birthday party 2 years ago? MC's on the mic, hosting the games. Dude, that was a blast, man.
That was a lot of fun. I would definitely MC more events, honestly. It's so much fun to do that.
10-year-olds' birthday parties?
Dude, I will do it, man. There was Caesar's Pizza there, man. Little Caesar's Pizza. I love Little Caesar's Pizza.
Same, dude. Same.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us. Whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, I need you to do me a favor real quick. Like and subscribe and follow if you're on Facebook. And we got a lot of great stuff we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about the Friday the 13th franchise. And this is a huge topic because you got movies, you got the TV show, you got the video games, you got the comic books, the books, you got the fan films, which if you haven't seen any of the fan films, you are sleeping on them, man. Because it is so crazy. Like some of these fan films, you could tell like some of them were like, we wanted the quality of the films to be better, and they brought it to that level. Check out Never Hike Alone on YouTube for free. It's like a 50-minute movie. Really great. Highly recommend that. And I think they're making their third movie because I think it was Don't Hike in the Snow, and then now there's Don't Hike Alone too. There might be a few more. I could be wrong, but check that out. Also, real quick shout out to, we got a birthday shout out for Lucy. Happy early B-Day, Lucy.
She will love that that was mentioned on the show. So she turns 12, and she has been begging to be on the show. So I told her we would talk and find something that, because I mean, like my parents are pretty cool with me in terms of like what we watched and what we listened to. There were limits per like ages, but not like some of my sheltered friends or my friends had to stay away from stuff. My parents are always pretty open, and we're that way with Lucy. So she's probably seen some stuff that some other 12-year-olds haven't. So, I didn't want to put her on a show where we talk about, something that a 12-year-old really shouldn't be seeing, that I look like a bad parent. So we just have to come together and find something that would be appropriate enough, but also kind of like,
how about Alien?
Not every 12-year-old would do this, so that there's some substance there, and then something that she's familiar with, so that she could talk, and maybe we can have her on for like a segment or two or something. But that's future talk.
We'll talk about that more. But like I said, Tom here is saying he's been waiting for this episode, and I can smell an LOL doll episode coming in a week. Oh man, let me tell you something. This show is great because we got a fantastic lineup of guests. First, let's bring out Kyle Monster, everybody. Kyle, what up, man?
Kyle Monster, man. Wow.
Yeah, it's everybody's favorite play on my last name, especially this time of year. But thanks for having me on at the glad to be back at the grown-ups table.
Glad to have you.
Call it the 10-year-olds party table, but
I mean, that works too, man. That works too.
but happy to be here.
That was just a longer title we were working on, so I mean that works too. But yeah, I see that you have a really cool picture in the background. Like there's like a moon back there. What is that exactly?
That is my Art Noir Spider-Man picture. So there's some glare off of my desk lamp here that you can't really see, but it's like I can't really get a good view of it because I have the lights off, and if I turn my overhead light on, it would glare off of it even more. But it's great. It was a great find. It was the only one at that store. So
nice.
That's pretty good, man. Yeah. Wait, hold on a second.
If you
wait, guys, hold on. Whoa! Oh, wow. Guys, I didn't expect this. It seems like we got someone backstage. I can't believe we. Sorry, guys. I'm going to be speechless. I didn't think they would say yes. I mean, they're here. I mean, okay, guys. Sorry, I got flabbergasted. I got fan struck. I am proud to bring on our next guest, man. Sorry, Kyle, you ain't the number one guest anymore. All right, this person's declared it. All right, please,
better be really good.
Please, everybody, Jason Voorhees.
What?
Oh my God!
From Camp Crystal Lake?
From Camp Crystal Lake.
Whoa!
The man himself is here. The man, the myth, the legend.
The man behind the mask.
We disturbed him getting dressed. Jason Voorhees, thank you for being on the show with us, man.
Holy shit.
Right. How's it going? Wow. I hear the like in my head, like he's gonna fucking kill me or something.
I'm kind of freaked out.
I mean,
was
guys,
unexpected.
we have him here. Oh,
Whoa, 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 push down, push down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Dude, we didn't do anything, man. I
All right,
swear.
we're good.
I have a question.
We have one question.
We have questions. Kyle, do you have a question for Jason Voorhees?
Yeah, something I've always wanted to ask you because I'm a huge fan. When it comes to effective cutlery, what are your preferences? Are you like a Cuisinart guy?
A Cuisinart guy.
A Oh, we don't like that question.
Whoa, he didn't. No.
Yeah,
One more. Jesse, ask one more.
more.
Maybe don't piss him off this time like Kyle did.
Okay, John, didn't you have one you wanted to ask?
I really just want to know what is your favorite food item to eat?
Like, did you eat a lot of fish when you were growing up in the camp? Or
Maybe he's a fruit guy. Maybe like strawberries.
Well, if that doesn't piss him off, Jesse.
Wait! I just brought up water. Oh no!
Oh! What the hell just happened? Holy shit! Oh my god!
I think I pissed him off. I'm sorry. I didn't think about that.
Somebody might have died.
I forgot that fish was in water, and I just reminded him of getting drowned. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and apparently I asked about trade secrets, so I guess that didn't go over well either.
Oh,
yeah, you
holy
can't.
shit.
Wow. Whoa, geez, that scared the shit out of me. So, like, I guess they got Wi-Fi up there at the Camp Crystal Lake now. I didn't know that they upgraded.
Well, I mean, at this rate, what billionaire hasn't bought out that land to try to make it into something? Which, you know what I mean? Like, isn't it so funny?
I mean,
like, how many movies they're like, all right, we're gonna buy this little lemon and we're gonna make it condominiums, or we're gonna make it this, we're gonna make it that, and it just never ever works.
Well, I mean, that's what they're doing in real life everywhere. So I guess it's time it came to Camp Crystal Lake. Wow. I
mean, if you think about it, Jason is just against gentrification. I mean, that's all those movies were about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're upping the property value. You know, he lives in his little cabin with his mother's head. You know what I mean? Like, he's just trying to make ends meet. And then you got these stupid rich developers coming in going, what if we make this place an amusement park? And then it's like, no, I get it. I can understand why he's pissed off. I can get behind that. Camp counselor's tuna boat was the favorite meal. Oh yeah, there we go. Actually, we do have another guest that will be joining us on the show right now. He is ready, and we are going to bring him on. Please, everybody, give it up for Brian.
Oh, hey, Brian. Hey, how's it going?
I appreciate the plug for Never Hike Alone. I was a Kickstarter for that, and I'm a Kickstarter for the sequel that's coming out here on Friday.
Get the fuck out of here! Are you
the
serious?
Credits for both of them, yes.
That's awesome.
Dude, those movies are just so good. Like, you can tell.
They are.
You could tell those were made by fans, like fans that were like, they saw Friday the 13th Part 5, and they were like, what? No, we're making a better one, and they did. And
they did.
And then never hike in the snow. I think they got Tommy Jarvis. They got, what is his name? Tom Matthews?
Yeah, well, Tom Matthews is going to be in the one that comes out on Friday too.
Get the fuck. Are you
same with the sheriff's in it as well. The deputy, he's playing the sheriff
from 6.
Yes.
Dude, I didn't.
And Fridays is supposed to be feature length.
Oh wow!
My lord!
Yes,
I might have to check these out now.
Oh my god! Yeah, no. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, real quickly, there is a wealth of fan films that are free to watch right now. One's on YouTube. They're both on YouTube right now, and I think that you said the one's coming out Friday. Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in the Snow. It's Never Hike in the Snow, right?
Never Hike in the Snow, correct?
And then they got. Guys, these are legit. They are legit. Go watch them. They are so much fun to watch. And you could tell the people who made them love Love this. And I love when you can watch a project and you could tell either A, the person behind it is either afraid of the source material, which adds to the scary elements, or that they are just immersed into it. These guys are immersed. They know what they're doing. So
They are. They did a 5-minute teaser for Never Hike Alone 2, which had Tom Matthews in most of it. And he was having a nightmare because his son was sitting at the end of a fishing dock, and his son looks just like when it was Corey Feldman playing him. I mean,
that's weird.
Spitting image.
That's
and
awesome.
The son mentions Jason, and it freaks Tom Matthews out.
Oh my God, that's really cool, man. I'm very excited about that. Like I said, like that's a thing like that's been so frustrating about this franchise is how badly it's been stalled for so long. But thank God fans are just like, no, man, we'll keep it going, man. And they make some really good stuff. And
the actors are all doing it. The actors are all jumping in and doing this stuff.
Yeah, that's really cool.
They care about this. They care about the source material. They care about the IP. They care about it. And that's what I think is missing when you talk about legacy sequels and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean this because like these movies don't. What's so great about these movies? What makes them such good Friday movies is they don't feel like Friday movies. They just are Friday movies.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
They're not trying to go like, look, we're doing this, so it's kind of like a Friday movie. We're doing no. They're telling a good story. Jason's there, very bare bones and simple and effective in every single way.
That's modernized. If you look at Never Hike Alone in the Snow, I mean that opening chase sequence, Jason's chasing him with the bow and arrow, and he's running and he's using his car trying to figure out where it starts beeping.
Yeah.
It's Jason off.
Yeah, no, it's so good. So everybody watch those. Check those out.
So one question before we jump into our first topic. Do I have to watch Never Hike Alone before I watch Never Hike in the Snow? Are they connected? Are they sequels of each other, or can I just watch them whenever?
I think they stand alone independent, even though I think they're supposed to be in a story.
But would it be better to watch them in like succession?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not going to be lost, but I think you'll
have more of appreciation for it because it gets better as they go.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm looking at stuff right now, and I'm 100% in on this. I've got a busy weekend, but I'm going to get both of these in. So
yeah. So right now, let's get into our first conversation. Let's talk about Friday the 13th, the origins, the impact. Obviously, like I said, we kind of start talking about the impact. Fans are taking this IP into their own hands and creating wonderful projects. You, sir, are an amazing Jason. I have to say that, like,
thank you.
You had the mannerisms. You did the like.
I tried to put the Kane Hodder little like.
Yeah.
You did, man. You had the little hunch over and everything, man.
You had Kane Hodder.
That was because I didn't want to hit my bar lights too. So. Let's be honest with that.
Ryan is very tall.
That would have been prime time 20 watching the mask go.
You also had the part 3-esque where you go like that real quickly. Remember when he gets the axe in the head? He's like, like I was like, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I totally screwed that up.
No, it was good. Yeah. It was good.
No, but I love that cosplay, Brian, and I know you're a huge fan of Part 6, and I mean, especially with the professional pictures you took at the camp, like
I've been to the camp
like you walked off the set
several times. So I'm going to leak a little secret right here. So if you go in like the off season, it's down at Hard Labor Creek State Park. Call ahead just to make sure nobody's like rented the camp. You go up there and you say, hey, you know what? My favorite movie was shot back there. Can I go back there, just walk around, take a couple pictures for my own personal use? Because that's another topic down there. You hand them your driver's license. They give you a code to the gate, and you basically drive in. Now, some of the buildings are locked because they're not going to give you the key. So the kitchen's off limits. But you just go back there and you walk around, and it's very eerie every time you go back there. If you go to the gate and walk, it's about a half a mile back to the camp, and that's where like a lot of the paintball scene and the scene with Tony Gwynn, the two lost head counselors, the first two kills. Yeah. That was all filmed right on that road.
Oh, cool. Wow. Yeah, I'd love to go to one of those shooting locations. I know you've been to a bunch of them too.
Yeah, I've been to Blairstown and Hope for the original ones too. The only thing I haven't been into on that is the is the camp itself, because it's an active Boy Scout camp. So
they're still using it.
Yeah, in fact, I got a text today for tickets for an upcoming event for that. They usually charge like $150 for entry, and the money goes to help restore the camp because it is kind of falling apart. But usually they'll bring out some of the actors, like Adrian King's known to be there for that. And some of the others.
I feel like there's an opportunity there for you to put the cosplay on and fuck with all the kids, like before they call the cops. like have somebody filming it, you know?
My parents ask me that question every time I go to the Part 6 camp is, did you scare the shit out of anybody? I'm like, no, there's nobody there.
Like hide in a closet till the cleaning guy comes.
But what's funny now that I've got the hood is I put a pair of leggings on so it blacks out everything else, like when I'm wearing the regular mask.
Yeah.
And as Camp Ranger came back to check on us to see what we're doing, and here's my wife like walking me along because the ground's unlevel. There's like holes and stuff.
You were being guided through the camp.
I'm being guided along.
An elderly Jason
Right.
is getting
that's
walked
the
across
picture
the
that
street
I
by a
want
Boy
to see.
Scout.
Yeah.
I want to see Jason being helped across the road. Like, that's what I want to see.
I can probably arrange that.
He's too
You
good
get
for
merit
a
badge
walker,
for that.
but he'll let an old lady walk him across the street, no problem.
Yeah, because I could make out the Ranger. I couldn't see the face, but I could catch the whole.
All right. Well, we could talk about Brian's cosplay all day because he also does Ghostbusters cosplay. He has the Ecto 1 car. Brian is an amazing person. But Jesse, let's jump back into our discussion. So we kind of talked about the impact, but what about the origins? The original movie kind of came out of left field, right?
Oh, this movie came out way in left field because they didn't even have a script when this movie was being released. They just had the title because like Sean S. Cunningham, he was just they were coming off hot from Last House on the Left, and they were just like, he's like, I have this title, I want to do it. They just get a newspaper section that
right,
Friday the 13th coming soon, and it got everybody hyped the fuck up. They didn't even know what it was gonna be about. They had no stories, no nothing. And this movie came at a very interesting time because it came during the slasher boom. But what's so interesting is this movie broke out of the slasher boom. So I don't want to get too much into that, but because I will in a second. But what's so interesting is that this movie saw an opportunity. There was this big slasher boom. Everybody was making slasher movies, but also they were making holiday movies. Because you have like Prom Night. You have I'm trying to think of all the holiday ones in my head I just had, and I can't think of them right now. But anyways, there was like
one at the end of the month.
What?
The one at the end of the month.
Oh, Halloween. Yeah. Halloween. Sorry, obviously that one. Sorry, I write down blacking out that movie right now because if I have to read one more David Gordon Green thing saying like, I stand by my divisive Halloween Ends movie.
Dude, that's a whole topic for another
whole
show.
topic
We're
another
not
time.
going to get into that.
I will say this though. The word divisive usually means there's two sides to the argument. There is not one.
There is two. It's his and everybody else's.
Yeah, right. Right. There's two for sure.
Right.
Everybody else.
All right, back on. So, anyways, so I mean, these movies came out, and what's so interesting about this movie is how successful it was. It was made with $500,000, and
budget. Even in 1980, that's a crazy budget.
That's still a crazy budget, yeah.
For a theatrically released film, like that is insane, right?
Right,
yeah.
But Sean's going to learn his lesson as we go on that he should have taken better notes and records of this independent film while he was making it.
Oh yeah. Because we'll get into that that's going to be a whole entire topic that Brian, I'm probably going to lean on you for because sometimes that whole legal battle, I sometimes have to reread it all the time, be like, how the hell, what's going on with it? But anyways, we'll get into that in a little bit.
So on the budget, $550,000. So we'll just say $500,000, and yet it grossed just a hair under 60 million. That's fucking impressive.
It is. It's so impressive, and they had a no-name cast. Well, except for Kevin Bacon, who was just out of Animal House in '78. but yeah, I mean, it had an amazing cast. They had Tom Savini, who is one of the great makeup artist effects. Like that guy, to
Sex
me, that
machine,
guy,
man.
what?
Sex machine.
Sex machine. Yeah, I forgot he played sex machine. Yeah,
With the cock gun.
the cock gun. Yes. Tom Savini, and then Manfredi's amazing score. You know what I mean? Like that score was just it's so damn good. It's so memorable, and it has the balls to go, well, we're gonna take a little bit of Psycho and put it in there a little bit. And like that's a risky game, because like you saw how people were rabid about Psycho 2 years later. But then but this movie was like a perfect storm for an independent film that was an independent horror movie that skyrocketed to, like I said, just under 60 million. But what was so brilliant about it was there was a lot of one-hit wonder slasher movies during the slasher boom. And we will soon see that this movie did not fall under that category. It became its own thing. It became its own character. Because, like, I mean, does anybody know the villain to Prom Night? I don't remember the character's name. No.
It was the brother. It was the brother who couldn't get over
the name.
Nobody knows his fucking name.
Exactly, but you know
nobody knows his name. Who cares?
Pamela Voorhees. You know what?
We know her as Mrs. Voorhees yet. Pamela is not introduced until part 4.
Get the fuck out.
This is why we brought Brian on right here. See, look at that.
I was watching Crystal Lake Memories before this just to kind of like refresh. So, so the name Pamela doesn't show up until the tombstone at part 4.
Okay, real quick, I have a question about that.
Yeah,
because you're the guy that asked about it. The tombstone says 79. The first movie did take place in 79.
Oh, do what now? I'm sorry.
Well, it took place in 79, right?
There's a whole debate, and I've won
this debate about that 79, 80.
Like the movie came out 1980. No debate. But did the movie take place in 79?
I don't think so, because if you look at the opening, when you reveal Blairstown itself, which is Crystal Lake, it just says present day. Okay.
The reason why I say that is because there's a song, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's called Jason's Mom Has Got It Going On. Ice Nine Kills.
No, I haven't heard it.
Oh my God, it's such a funny song. It's still the song Stacy's Mom, but it's Jason's mom. And they say she killed all those campers back in 79. So that's why I was always wondering,
I got it.
Was that acknowledged? So I don't know. That's the thing that's the thing about Friday the 13th, because this movie IP changed hands so crazy. You know, who knows what the real answer is.
Okay, according to Screen Rant, the film takes place on June 13th, 1980. So since June of that year did indeed happen, or have an actual Friday the 13th that fell on the 13th, it's a safe assumption that the original film takes place on this specific date. But the true age of Jason when he drowned is still unknown. But the hint is that Mrs. Voorhees says
go to the book.
Today is his birthday.
Go to the book.
It's got a fucking encyclopedia. There it is. Like,
the reason why the 79 argument comes up is because in that tombstone he's talking about, everybody, it has Pamela Voorhees, and it says 1979, if I remember correctly, that she died. So that's what
it did.
That's what the weird confusion is. Did she? So what is true and what is false? Nobody knows.
Kyle, you got
what
something?
makes sense to me? I thought it took place in 1979 because that's probably when the majority of the filming took place.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So when they say present day, it's like, okay, what's today? 1979.
Right.
That's what I thought, and that's the assumption that I made.
That makes sense.
That makes perfect sense too, man. I totally get that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things that we don't have to answer. Maybe we can just always argue about it and be like, did it happen on this day? On this day? I don't know. But hey, we talked for 10 minutes about it and it was fun.
Well, what's so good about this movie is on top of the slasher element, it had this whodunit element.
Yes.
But there was no clues. They got rid of all the clues. The one clue that was supposed to remain in the script was the killer was supposed to have 4 fingers on one hand.
And I do remember that, hearing about that.
yeah, they got rid of that because they were like, no, we want this out of left field.
Yeah. So the villain reveal would be completely fresh. It wouldn't be tainted with anything.
And boy, did it come out of left field.
Oh, I remember the first time I
Because,
watched
like,
it, I was like, "What? His mom? What the fuck? Oh my god, she's crazy!"
like, oh, she's here to get us cookies, and it's like, holy shit, she can kill.
And she's
And,
like,
like-
"My Jason, my boy." I'm like, "God damn, this woman's frightening."
I love when she starts bitch slapping Adrian King in that fight.
Dude, it's like a propeller, like it's not just a regular slap. Like, she put some fucking oomph on that.
Jason's mom has it going on. I'm just seeing the header now. So I guess the question is, would you have taken a one-night stand with Jason's mom given the opportunity?
No.
No takers?
No, it's too
No?
risky. You won't live to tell the story.
Kyle,
That's not my thing.
No?
It's just not my thing.
Man, that's
And
a shame. I wouldn't have passed it up if I
do
was.
you know the reason why Betsy Palmer did the movie?
Didn't she need a new car?
Why?
Yes. Yes.
She was like, "Fuck it, I'll do it. I need a new car."
Yes. It was like a $1,500 check or
Yeah.
something. That's all she got paid. And she's like, I just needed a new car. So that's why she did the part.
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
look what happened. Ended up being iconic forever.
And she didn't film for very many days because if you do the Camp Crystal Lake memories, Savini's hands he's dressed as her. Tazo, his partner Tazo's the hands like this at the
That
end.
makes total sense. I never connected that before, but now I get it.
That's
Oh,
why
yeah.
it looks like man hands when her
Yes,
head's cut off.
yes, that makes total sense now.
So wait, you guys don't think that she has man hands? Come on.
No, those were
Jason's
not.
mom's got bad man hands.
Those were
She's
not
working-
Jason's mom's hands, man. I know.
She's
what
working
those
on a
are.
camp. You know what I mean? She's probably done some woodwork. You know what I mean? Like, she's got some calluses. You know what I mean? Like,
Whoa. Oh wait, hold on. Sorry, I had to switch my mindset. I was thinking something totally different. My bad.
Not that
Okay,
kind of
all
woodwork.
right.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh,
my
man.
bad.
Do the woodwork.
Let's go
Oh,
back to it.
we
all
got
right,
there.
Steph asked the real question:
got
with or
there.
without her head?
Oh, either or, man. Without the head, it's a little bit more quiet. With the head,
Only
it
the
might be
head.
a little different. I don't
Only
know.
the head.
Oh,
Only
man.
the head could be good, especially when it
Only
like
the head.
rotted and shit, and the teeth were falling out.
Yeah. I'll go in the little. I'll go to Jason's fuck shack with the head. Fuck it. Whatever.
Whoa! All right, let's move on from Jason's mom.
Oh,
With that said.
now we drew a line. Okay.
Yeah,
fine.
we did, Jesse. You crossed it with the whole shed. Anyways. let's
Okay, fine.
continue.
Anyways, but yeah, this is a crazy ass twist because
Yeah,
it-
agreed.
it's like this is like a great example of an out of left field twist where it makes perfect sense. Perfect sense that this is who the killer is. Without us going like, that felt cheap. Like we could, you know what I mean? Like there's some movies they do that. Like, for example, I think the latest Scream movie, I felt like the twist was out of left field. I felt like it was cheap.
And it was the most dumbest of all
Yeah,
the
it was
Scream
cheap.
movies, including number 3.
But this movie itself right here.
I see Brian thinking about that statement. He wants to argue it. Different episode,
Different
Brian.
show, bring me back
He
for
wants to
Scream.
argue it.
We
I
will.
see
We'll bring
it.
back for Scream. But like this is a great example on how to do an out of left field twist, but have it still make sense where you're like, oh, because you would think about it, animal instinct. Mama bear gets pissed that cub gets drowned in the water. What's a mama bear going to do? Kill some people. All right. It makes
So,
sense. Simple motive. You don't have to go too far out of left field to figure this out.
Sure. I have a question for Kyle.
Lay it on me.
Kyle, if Mrs. Voorhees was not the killer, who would you have wanted to be the killer and why?
Oh man.
Yeah, I had to go critical thinking with this.
Probably Alice.
Ooh,
Well, that'd be
interesting. Why?
weird. That'd be interesting. Yeah. Like maybe she's
Just
losing
like,
it the
he's like
entire
the
time.
last counselor standing. Like you could have gone a lot of different ways with that one, or you make like a weird connection that she's related to Jason. Like, you could have also said that she was related to Jason, but it was like, oh my god, she's been right under our nose at the camp the entire time. I know that's kind of Scooby-Doo-ish.
No.
No, but
It's not.
Kyle, you're right because she's like the wholesome person, all like
Yes.
in with everybody.
Doesn't
So it would have
fuck,
been the
doesn't do
perfect
drugs,
decoy.
doesn't get naked,
Right.
doesn't play the
Yep.
strip Monopoly,
Yep.
So
No, she did play the strip
oh,
Monopoly.
did she? I thought
She
she
did.
was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. And then
Well,
no, that
they-
was the other girl that did it and left.
She drew blood and took the first boot.
Yes.
She's like, I'm beginning to like this game.
So I'm getting some sleepaway camp vibes here though. So what if they had like Jason and her as like siblings?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Like maybe like she's the sibling and she went away when she should have also been watching Jason.
Hmm.
I don't know. But then would you recognize your mom? That's the other thing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think on how the age thing would
Holy
line
shit,
up.
Mom, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Or Alice gets saved and Jason gets sacrificed.
Ooh, okay. I like where that's going.
Hmm.
That'd be
You know,
very.
there could be that story there where Alice feels where she blames everyone else but herself or her own family or whoever, if their mom was the one that like pulled her out of the lake, if they were both drowning. Like you could go there, we could go forever on all these different tangents in the Jason verse.
The Jason verse, I love it.
One movie I would always want made, and it can't be made because I think the person that would be perfect for Pamela Voorhees is she's aged out of the role already. But I imagine this. Imagine the movie starts at a cemetery. It's raining. It's blacked out gray, right? Clouds are dark. Lightning is striking. They're lowering a body into the hole. And then you see it says Jason Voorhees on the tombstone. And then you see a bunch of kids crying but then you see a mother smoke coming up. Jessica Lange.
Oh shit!
Voorhees.
Yeah.
I mean, she could have done it, dude.
Now you see that?
I do see
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
A
100%.
prequel where she kills the original campers who were there that day.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice how like Jessica Lange is one of the only few actors that can actually smoke cigarettes believably on camera? Like when you see her smoke on camera, you're like, you're a smoker. But then you see other people, you're like, get out. You're not even like, what are you doing?
She used a cigarette as basically like a magic wand in Coven. It's like she's like then she would do this thing and then like throw somebody against the wall.
Cigarette power activate.
She was doing a lot for the tobacco industry. Loved that character. They were like, yeah.
I guarantee you Marlboro sales went up when
Dude,
Coven.
I bet they did. I bet you did. But anyways, okay, wait, here's Jason had a twin brother. It was Sloth from the Goonies.
I mean, Tom's not wrong. It's the same universe, just different movies, right? Sloth went one way, Jason went another way, and one of them had a happy ending, and the other's still not happy. I don't know.
So let's move on to our next topic because we gotta talk about Jason. We gotta talk about Jason, and he's not introduced until the sequel. Oh, I mean, he's introduced in the first movie, but not the way we know.
Not the adult Jason.
Not the adult. Couldn't some people dare I say a Kandarian demon because I believe in that storyline.
Don't no.
Ash versus Jason versus Evil Dead. Everybody read it. That's your homework assignment. Anyways, let's go back to the story, okay? So,
I like how he gets to have his plug without debate, and then let's move on.
Do your homework. Do your homework, and then you can hound me
Let
later.
me know.
Okay?
Like, get out of here, man.
Get out of here. Anyway, so Jason's introduced, and ironically enough, played by a female the first time he comes on screen with his feet, his boots, to kill Alice. So Alice is just dispatched, and apparently how they filmed that scene was like super improvised. Like nobody, like they were just like go on the bed and do this. Oh my god! Like,
okay, well, you know why? So I went to a screening of Friday the 13th that they had Adrian King at, and there was a Q&A session afterwards, and everybody asked about the sequel, about why did you go out so early? The movie was already filmed when they brought her on.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
so
that makes sense.
They brought her in to do the beginning because they needed a way to start the movie. So they gave her a bathrobe that didn't fit. they basically all of her wardrobe didn't fit. Everything was just kind of thrown together. You know, they I don't want to say they treated her like garbage, but it was in and out, and it was just to film the beginning.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. Wow.
Right. The movie was already filmed because she was asking more about the script, and they're like, "Oh no, the movie's done."
We just need you to shoot this scene so they link together.
Oh my
Don't
God.
ask any questions. Just shoot the fucking scene. Wow. Damn.
Check the
I wonder
bike
if she
Go
got
in the
any
fridge.
of the free lunch.
But she was also dealing with a stalker at that point too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she had a stalker in her life.
Oh, man.
Dude, this stalker was Machiavelli. Like, he friended her, and then he would talk to her about the stalker, which is him. And
Right.
it was like this weird, like, it was a weird, like, I'm gonna talk about myself. It's strange. Like, you could make a movie about that.
Right.
Which, I mean, they kind of made the whole Fanboys movie with the Friday the 13th cast. I mean, I wonder if that's lightly inspired by that. Like lightly.
I think it is.
Yeah. If anybody wants to check that out, I think it's on Paramount Plus. Go watch it. Anyways, but yeah, no, it's yeah. She was going through a lot. But so this movie is interesting because at first it had some backlash from the original people. Like Tom Savini was like, I ain't doing this. He's like, he's like, Jason's not this, Jason's not that. Because some people like they respect the mythos of that first movie.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I get that.
Yeah. So
like Sean Cunningham didn't even want anything. He was like, okay, go ahead and make it.
So, okay. Okay. Sorry, I just thought of something. So, how would it have been if we had stayed with the original concept of Jason? So, at the end of Friday the 13th, you know, he comes up from the lake, grabs her, pulls her down. Friday the 13th part 2, we have full-grown adult burlap sack. What happens if Jason is still a child and he's not the full-grown adult? Because think about it, if he died as a kid, and then somehow through the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, he gets these infinite deadite powers. And so is he like that fucking blue Power Ranger that just grew up into an adult every time he morphed?
Yes,
like, I mean, like, what? How did this happen? There was like a 25-year passage of evolution. And you all right, Kyle?
No, I just never thought that we would get to Power Rangers Turbo tonight. I'm just saying.
Well, dude, I'm impressed that you know that came from Power Rangers Turbo.
Yes,
Mad props, my friend. So Kyle, how would you have felt differently if he was a child killer versus an adult killer?
So I would say that would still be somewhat original or not overused, because we're still a few years from Chucky, right? At this point.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, because Chucky was what, 86?
Yeah.
Or no, I mean
like,
88, 89.
Yeah, like late
like
80s. So,
yeah.
So Chucky wasn't a thing yet. So the whole child killer little whatever stuff like that was not very overused like I feel like it is today.
Oh, for sure.
But I still feel like that would have been a fresh idea. I feel like that would have made it probably even a little scarier, because, you know, we're still in the 80s and, you know, children are innocent and they don't do bad things, you know. You know, and what was our only kind of freaky child moment up until that point? It was probably The Shining, right? So
The Shining and I'd say Exorcist.
Shining and The Exorcist, and that was pretty much it. So like I said, the idea is still kind of fresh. I feel like it could have worked. I still feel like it could have been scary.
I like what you're saying. I really do, and I think that could have been cool. Now, so what if we go a couple of movies and then we do some movie magic MacGuffin thing, you know, morphin time, and then he grows up into an adult? Like, that could have worked. Then we could have had the best of both worlds. But which movie would he have grown up in?
Kind of do that? Think about that. They kill him in part 4. We have another whodunit in 5. And now he comes back as undead Jason or zombie Jason.
Are you talking about in part 6?
Yeah.
So he comes back as zombie Jason. Now, then he stays technically as zombie Jason until Jason X, and then I guess we do another weird thing with him. Yeah, we do another morph. Exactly. He gets the special armor. It's like the super morph, dude. Yeah. See.
Now here's my question: is Jason X technically canon? Because doesn't it negate the ability for Freddy versus Jason to happen?
So
Oh, good. Well,
it
what year
does.
did that movie take place in?
Yeah, it did because Jason X was released as a filler because Freddy
Yeah.
versus Jason didn't get off the ground yet.
Yeah,
right.
Mhm.
yeah.
So
Oh,
Sean was out of ideas. I don't know what we're doing. Let's put him in space.
Well, so here's
Thank
here's
God
an,
they did it.
so here's an interesting thing. So Jason X takes place in 2455. That's when he's unthawed, right?
Yeah.
So what if the films between what would it have been between Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X? That would have just been his dream while he was in suspended animation. He's just dreaming about all these other movies that he's murking people in left and right.
And then
Or they could use the Fast and Furious format and just say, hey, we filmed a entirely different story in an entirely different part of the world, but it connects. Just wait a couple movies. We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
I believe that one. I'll take that one. I'll take that for 500 right there.
And we'll have characters that make no sense on how they got halfway across the world and now they're back in the franchise.
Well, I mean, look at Freddy versus Jason. How fast did they travel from New Jersey to Ohio?
Right.
I mean,
they were high school kids in a van. They were all high. I feel like they could have made that trip in like 3 or 4 hours.
Dude, I can't even get from here to from Youngstown. I can't get there in under 2.5 hours speed.
That's because you drive like an old lady.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, I'm not going to defend my driving on here. Anyways,
I was say something about driving sober, but that's not the message we want.
No.
And also,
Jesse is the guy who drives the speed limit in the left lane. So
I do. Anyways,
yep,
and
exactly.
People live. What's everybody's favorite unalive moment? We have to say that just so that we don't get flagged for any reason. But what is one of your favorite deaths? Well, I guess I said it, that happened in the franchise.
No. It's not one of. It's
two.
Your number one.
Number one.
If you need to have two, you can have two.
I have two.
So who wants to start?
All right, I'll start.
Yeah, Kyle, what do you got? Number one.
Okay, so the reason why this is my favorite, and I have a penchant for loving the worst movie of every franchise. So my favorite is Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh, thank God!
I love that. That's my favorite too.
No, that's good. 5 is the worst
Jason movie because the setting is completely different. We had never seen a slasher take on the big city. I love how different that was.
Right.
And so I loved it when they killed Jason at the end with the toxic waste because it was just so out there.
Yeah.
And I was like, if anything's going to kill this guy, it's going to be that. And all of a sudden, we've got another movie. So I was like,
it's the same toxic waste that Terry Silver from the Karate Kid was dumping all those years.
There it is. That's how you connect Jason. That's how you connect Friday the 13th to Karate Kid. It's Terry Silver's fault.
And then also the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because we didn't know what Silver's company was called. They could have been.
Oh, it could be TGRI, man.
It could be TGRI this entire time. I can see that. There you go.
Oh,
but
man.
no, yeah.
Actually, did Casey Jones find Jason's mask from the sewer? And that's
there it is. That's how he got the mask.
Connected over here.
Yep. So, Kyle, I totally agree with you about Manhattan. It's absurd. It's not the most absurd movie, but I love the fish out of water. I love all the toxic waste trope type stuff. I was talking to a friend of mine, and it's funny because we brought up the Turtles because he was like, dude, he's like the biggest player move in that whole movie was when Jason was walking down the street and literally just kicked over that boom box. Wouldn't have nothing of it. Not one person said nothing, did nothing, looked at him. They were just like, cool, man. It's cool. I was like,
Okay, just all Brad when he lifted up the mask. That was the mask. Awesome
cool, man.
Yep, no, I'm good, man. Dude, Ninja Turtles would not have tolerated that shit. They would have been on him, and they would have handled the business, as would have Casey Jones. So where the fuck were they when this was going on?
I think it might have been a few years before that, maybe. Because wait, when did Manhattan come out?
88?
89.
Oh, so then it was a year before them. Oh, well, then unless Splinter didn't graduate them to the service, he's like, one more year.
Turtles have been around since what, 84? So it could have been a crossover. They just had. And the Kitty Show was on by 88. Didn't that start in like 87? I think the Turtles cartoon 87.
Can't remember.
Gonna have to do an Internet Movie Database search.
I mean, look, guys, I'm Googling shit more than I'm talking. 87. So, yeah, they could have connected, man.
That's mine right there. That's mine right there.
God, Sleeping
Bag. Oh, shit, man. You took mine, too. Everybody loves the damn Sleeping Bag kill, but it's so great. And I love how they've used it in multiple films. They've reimagined it. My favorite is from Jason X.
Severely edited.
It's just repeatedly over and over and
well,
over.
Okay, it's severely edited. So after Friday the 13th was that sleeper independent film, now the MPAA is on them. So each movie keeps getting hit harder and harder and harder.
You can. I was going to bring that up. You can tell, especially in 6.
You come to part 7. That sleeping bag, the original scene, he hits that bag 4 times on the tree, and every time there's more and more blood coming out of it.
Yes, that's what I want to see. But you're absolutely right. Like 7, I just watched it, and I'm just like, God damn, how is this a rated R Friday the 13th movie? This is like PG-13 at best. Like everything was cut away. You saw nothing in that film.
So. It's on the DVDs. They have the deleted cuts because I think it was the assistant editor on that film was getting so sick of the stuff that was getting cut and didn't want it ever to resurface, so it was destroying the negatives.
Oh, fuck that guy, man.
So that's why you will never get an uncut 7 because there's no. But like if you go on and you look at the deleted scenes for the deleted kills, like that guy with the party whistle when Jason crushes his head, the head keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's just more and more is coming out of it.
That's what I want to see, because in this, all it is, he's like this, and then a little bit of blood, and you never see it again. I'm like,
yeah, oh no, it's the freaking garden hose hooked up to it.
Yeah. No, because like I know the shish kebab scene where the couple, they're having sex, the girl looks over the guy's shoulder and sees Jason come with the steak like that.
They got surprised by that because she lied about her age. She was 17.
Oh wait, I wasn't what I was talking about. I was talking about. Oh, what do you know? So I was here's what I was going to say.
Brian, all these things, man.
I know this.
Oh, no, she was underage in that. No Girls Gone Wild here.
I thought they were cutting it because of the violence. So what are you saying?
So part 2, the girl who played Sandra was 17. She lied about her age, and then they had to re-edit and refilm that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't shoot sex scenes with a 17-year-old, Jesse. Come on now, man.
No. That's what I was talking about. They was talking about like they wouldn't show too much of the steak kill where they stab right through.
Well, there's part of that too in that.
Yeah, apparently Greg Nicotero says he's seen the whole entire scene what that death was supposed to look like.
Yeah, there's a lot more to that death.
Yeah, and they cut that out entirely. That's what I was talking about. They cut that death down. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
Well, we all seem to like the.
My second favorite is the off-screen kill in part 6, the paintball scene.
Oh my God, yes.
After you get the MPAA destroyed the triple decapitation because there was a whole bunch of work put into that got cut. Then the guy with the paintball gun that shoots Jason. Jason looks down, look at the paintball gun, which by the way, that is the one scene that is not CJ Graham. That Jason was cast. They looked at the dailies. They said, no, that guy looks too fat. The nickname for that Jason, Bitch Tits Jason.
Bitch Tits Jason. That's its own movie. No. Here it is. The next Friday the 13th movie is aging dad Jason. So he has the bitch tits. He has the beer gut. He's tired. He can't kill the way he used to.
After they filmed that scene, they casted CJ Graham.
Oh,
okay.
Now
that's funny.
Now, well, we.
Everybody else, I'm sorry. I'm just like, oh my God! You don't think about it until somebody says it out loud.
They casted CJ Graham.
Oh, awesome,
that's
dude!
Awesome, dude! I love that.
Yeah,
so that's the first figure. I got CJ Graham and I got Tom Matthews.
Nice.
Wow.
That, and I love where they signed it too. That's perfect, man.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
I'm
CJ
actually
even
jealous.
drew a mask.
Oh, Brian, don't ever get rid of that. I'm really jealous.
Don't go hiking with
Bitch tits Jason. Kyle, how would you feel about a bitch tits Jason movie? And what would be the best kill from bitch tits Jason?
Well, first of all, when you would definitely hear him coming because he would go. So he'd be winded before he even tried to get you with the knife. So
Yep.
I don't know. I think his best kill would be somebody would just fall asleep on the couch. He'd probably just sit on him, It's like, damn, I'm tired.
Man.
Wow.
I was thinking maybe we could drain some of that bitch tit fluid and like squirt it on somebody, you know?
No. We're not going Last Jedi. We're not. No.
I wasn't even going to connect that, but now that you said it, that is kind of funny. By the way, look, I'm down for bitch tits, Jason. If anybody wants to shoot that film, I'll do it for free. Like, I want to be involved. Let me know.
But see, that's the unique thing about these films, because like that's one of the controversies between part 2 and now that Steve Dash, who was one of the Jasons, passed away. It was how much of this actor played Jason, how much of this actor played Jason, because if you count the girl in part 2 that did the boots, there's 4 people in that movie that play Jason.
Yep. Wow. Yeah, I didn't think about that. And there is a certain percentage that you have to do, just like directing, in order to actually get the credit for the role or whatever it is that you're doing. So I never thought about that. 4 different people playing Jason in one film. That's crazy.
The interesting thing about Jason is he went just from being a stunt character to an actual character that was portrayed. Yeah, because I remember when they did the second movie, they were talking about, they're like, oh, we just need some guy we could just throw, can take a hit, do this, that, run, jump, this. But then as the movie's going on, Steve Miner, I know with his Jason, he's like giving him like unmotivation thing, like you're not motivated, you're a shark, just go, you do this. And then it's like Jason started becoming a character, especially like if you watch how Kane Hodder talks about playing Jason. The guy,
definitely.
And that guy got screwed because he pushed forever and ever and ever for Jason versus Freddy, and then it happened, and then they didn't cast him.
What?
I agree, that was a crime. Because I do not like the Jason. I love Jason versus Freddy. I love the film, but I hate the Jason design.
The Jason who played that was Kane's stunt double from Jason Takes Manhattan. He is the guy in the scene where they walk into the diner in Manhattan. The guy who puts the apron down and gets thrown into the mirror. That's the guy who plays Jason for Jason versus Freddy.
Now, was that just a production New Line type thing that happened, or was there some beef or something?
They wanted somebody taller. They wanted somebody taller, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
they wanted somebody more hulking when they stood next to Robert Englund.
I don't know, because that Jason kind of looks pussy-ish. I just watched the film a couple days ago, and I was like, God, I hate this fucking
dude. Jason. But yeah, remember where they did that Las Vegas weigh-in thing with those two? That was pretty cool. I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, did everybody give their favorite death?
You haven't.
Kyle, what was yours?
You haven't.
Mine was Toxic Waste and Jason Takes Manhattan.
Oh, dude, I know we talked about that previously. Anything Toxic Waste.
I just didn't understand why he turned back into a kid. That's the only problem I have with that.
Look, if Toxic Waste can make Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you gotta let go.
But then we go right back to Jason Goes to Hell when he's an adult again.
Well, I mean, it was just like reverse Toxie. The nerd falls in, he becomes
it wore off. It wore off.
It wore off. The properties wore off.
DNA
reconfigured.
This is what happens when Paramount sells it and it goes to New Line Cinema because they stop using Friday the 13th. Everything becomes Jason.
Oh, you're right. I never noticed that before. Or I guess I never thought about that, but you're absolutely right. Wow. I didn't ever think about that before.
They never use Friday in the title anymore, which makes me wonder if they actually got the rights for it or not.
But they did in the reimagining, the Friday the 13th from 2009.
Correct, but if you watch the opening credits, Paramount and New Line is mentioned in the opening credits.
Now I did like that one. I thought that was actually pretty well done.
here's a couple of the
when did it get
deaths.
sold? Was that after Jason Takes Manhattan?
It would have had to have
Yeah,
been, right?
Jason Takes Manhattan was the last film for Paramount.
Yeah.
I thought because Jason Goes to Hell, it doesn't have a subtitle like The Final Friday or something like that.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
Yeah.
but they couldn't actually use Friday the 13th.
Oh,
So that's weird to me that you would sell
Assholes.
it. You would sell an IP, right? But then you would say, but you can't use this name.
Well, I
Like,
don't
I'm
know if
buying
they
the fucking
actually. I don't know if that was
like-
actually part of the sale or not. That's why.
okay.
But I know that's where it trans hands. And if you look at the titles, Friday the 13th is never used again until the reboot.
That's why Kevin Smith can make a Jay and Silent Bob movie at any time, because he owns those characters specifically.
Right.
Correct.
He just doesn't own the movie that they're in. So they probably bought the use of the character, but not the IP to use the title.
That's all that the shit is just crazy to me. Like,
dude, it's
just
Well, and
no,
that's what gets us, to the lawsuit and how crazy shit gets.
yeah. Let's go through these deaths real quick I have here, and then we'll move on because I want to talk about a few more things before we wrap up here. Because like I said,
this should be like a 3-hour podcast.
It should have been, yeah, like the sleeping bag, the motorboat death.
Oh yeah. Oh, I also forgot about the frog spear. I like that one too, where that chick's laying in the boat and he's just like all slow about it. Stabs her.
Crispin Glover.
Yeah. Dude, I love the hatchet right to the fucking face, man.
Oh man.
That's so good.
The liquor bottle. Yeah.
I love
Totally
the woman that thought, oh, I'm going to give my credit card to Jason. Maybe he'll let me live.
That's the director's wife, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Wasn't the American Express like floating in the water? Like it just never leave home without it. It's like floating across.
Dude, the sixth movie is my all-time favorite. It just I felt like it came into its own that way.
I will say I liked it better watching it this time than any other time in the past. But 5 and 7, I'm kind of out on those.
Yeah, no.
So it's interesting because now that, and once we get to the lawsuit, we can talk about that. But Tom McLaughlin, who directed Part 6, already has a sequel written to come in right after.
I heard about that.
Oh, so it would be a different way, not a psychic kinetic person to wake him up.
Yeah, it would break the timeline right there.
Give him it. He knows what he's doing.
Right.
The only reason why his movie suffered is because fans lost faith in that IP because of how bad Beginning was. That's the only reason why that didn't do that well. And then after everybody saw 5, or 6, they were like, "We're back." And then it's like, why?
Well, yeah, because there was a bunch of characters that were supposed to return. Like Reggie was supposed to return. Pam was supposed to return. I mean, that's why Tommy's driving Pam's truck. I mean, it was to that point.
They just need to give him his movie. So
give the man.
Let's talk about this, the legal battles. So the Friday the 13th IP stuff, I'm not gonna lie, this I hate reading about because it is so confusing at times, and then there's days where you understand it and then you think about it more and you're like, wait, do I understand it? Like, I'm gonna say this out loud and correct me if I'm wrong. This is they're kind of debating who created the Jason that we think of Jason as. Whether it was Sean Cunningham, boy Jason, or Jason with the burlap sack hockey.
But every time it just got in front of a judge, the judge said, we're not talking about adult Jason. We're going to talk about everything else because that writer was only involved in the first part of it. All the writer was trying to do was it was 25 years, the license expires, or 25 or 35 years, the copyright expires, and all he was trying to do is make money off of his work. And that's where Sean bit it in the ass because Sean didn't keep very good records. And that's what drug this thing on for like 5 or 6 years. But the whole suit was they were keeping adult Jason out of it because adult Jason didn't show up in the first movie.
Yeah.
Right. I get that. That makes sense.
It's a crazy ass lawsuit because because this movie is lucrative. It's very lucrative, and I definitely would like to see it get kind of a treatment in, because like I liked the remake. I thought the remake was fun. The guys who did Freddy versus Jason were the ones that did that, if I remember correctly.
They had a sequel already planned for it because I went to go visit that camp in Georgia and it was mysteriously off limits.
Uh-oh.
And so like we were driving around like to the other side of the lake trying to look back, trying to see whatever we could, but we couldn't, but it was off limits. They were saying they were doing renovations, but
Yeah, right. They were
word was
dressing
out they
that.
were in the Atlanta area, and that camp's not that far from Atlanta.
Yeah, no, it's just what was so good is like I like the direction they went with that movie. Like they kind of crushed the first three movies together. You know what I mean? Because you know the we saw a little bit of the first movie.
Yeah.
You know, we skipped the burlap
like
sack,
that.
got right to the finding the mask. We got a little burlap sack, but we got right to finding the mask.
Yes.
It was very creative how they did that. I mean, that was when Michael Bay somehow was able to make like every popular horror movie he wanted to make back in the early 2000s. He's like,
Right.
maybe I'll make a little Texas Chainsaw. I'm gonna do a Nightmare, and I'm gonna do
Yeah, let's not
Jason.
talk about that
Don't
nightmare.
give him credit just because his name's on it.
I
Doesn't mean
didn't give
he
him credit. I
actually
just said he
something.
did it. I just said he did it. Did
Yeah,
he
well,
not?
he didn't do it. But anyways, so I think it's worth talking about the remake because we live in a world where remakes, reboots, reimagining, all that shit is everywhere because it's cash cow. Nostalgia sells tickets. It doesn't matter if the film is good or bad.
Not according to
Nostalgia
Rotten
sells
Tomatoes on this
tickets.
movie, by the way.
Now, however,
True.
with Friday the 13th, it was actually a good remake, reimagining, reboot, whatever you want to call it. Kyle, what was your thoughts on it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Like, how did you feel when you saw? I saw this shit in the theater and I loved it, but I'd like to hear about what you think, Kyle.
Gonna be a quick answer. Never saw it.
What?
Never
Oh
saw
my
it.
God.
Never saw it.
Wow.
I am very, very specific on any reboots that I actually
Okay.
give my time to.
Okay.
And I don't know,
Fair
for
enough.
some reason, Friday the 13th, these horror franchises like Halloween, I was even hesitant to go see Rob Zombie's Halloween. Like I was just like, look, I mean, I know everybody's saying that it's great, but I know what Friday the 13th is to me. I know what Halloween is to me, like stuff like that. I think I would say like the one franchise that kind of is outside of that is Scream, just because I feel like it's been such a continuation over the years. They haven't really reboot everything. They have tried to loosely continue the story. The characters just kind of seem to change, but the premise is always there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of overarcs very, very loosely. Like, you know, the overarching is held together by bird shit, but it's there. But
So-
I mean, so that's kind of like, so like Freddy versus Jason, like that was pretty much where I was like, okay, this was like the crossover that I wanted to see, because I also love Nightmare on Elm Street, obviously.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
But when this came out, I didn't see it. So
That's
quick
okay.
answer. I'll leave this one to Brad. You guys can just talk up.
So-
Brad
It has one of the best lines in the movie.
Hold on.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah,
right
it
there.
does. It does. It does. It absolutely does. So,
See,
Kyle,
now that right there, I'm watching it this weekend.
okay, I was gonna say, look, Kyle, I'm literally not trying to bullshit you, and I hope that you know me well enough that I'm not gonna push a remake, reboot, whatever, unless I really truly believe, honestly, that it's good. I really think you should watch this. Look, I'm not saying it's Citizen Kane, but I'm saying when you compare it to other fucking reboots that were absolutely terrible, like the Nightmare on Elm Street one, that could have been good, but they fucked it up somehow. I think you'll actually like it. Plus, Jared Padalecki's in it, so of course that man makes everything good that he's going to be in. So, I would
Texas Ranger, I'm sold.
The new Walker Texas Ranger,
The new one.
but the new one, because Chuck Norris.
Kyle, go watch the remake.
Yeah, but anyways, Kyle, I really want you to watch it. We'll do another show where maybe we talk. Maybe it's been a while since we've actually done a bitch/compliment reboot type show. It's been a really long time, Jesse. So we'll have you back on for that, and we'll dive deep into that, because I really want to know what you think, because I feel like it's a good example of that done correctly, and I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on that.
All right. Yeah, I would love to be back for that, because now I've given myself a little bit of a homework assignment now. now that I know that, I'll be coming back and potentially talking with you guys about it,
Yes.
I'll watch this one. I'll check out Ghostbusters, even no matter
Look
how
at Brian, he
bad or
wanted to
good I
say
think they are
something.
beforehand. I'm going to start
I'm
watching.
staying
I'm going to
away
start
from that,
finding
John.
reboots I haven't
That's not
seen
what I
yet.
wanted.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to make a Ghostbuster
I
comment.
was going to give a shout out just back to the lawsuit, because I was one of the guys who basically got my dreams crushed because I was a Kickstarter on the game. My name's in the credits on that too.
I know. I saw your name in the credits, man.
I know. And it's just that when they announced end of content that quick, I was like, are you kidding me?
But the game held on so long.
It's still going right now.
It's still going. You can still play it, but absolutely nothing is ever going to change now. It is the way it's always going to
Yeah,
exist.
they've fully unlocked everything. And
but it was actually fun. Like, had a good time playing it. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, very similar, but also very different. It
was so gruesome for a video game.
For great, dude. I remember I freaked my daughter out because I did a kill where the spike from part 7 was sticking in the wall, and I picked up a chick and just like impaled her on. My daughter was like, "Why did you do that? I told you not to kill her. Why didn't you save her?" And
I got the kill from part 6 where Jason punches through the chest.
Yes.
The camera angle lines up so that you look like this right through the hole, and you see the hockey mask do this.
Yeah, that's almost like a Mortal Kombat fatality.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Like when they did when they were designing it and they were doing all the stuff like when they create the game and they have people act and they put the design over them so they can map it on the computer. Wasn't Tom Savini involved with that whole
Savini
thing?
was involved with it. In fact, for those of us that kickstarted it for a little bit of extra, there was actually a special Jason we got for that called the Savini Jason. Savini Jason was basically Jason returning from hell. The hockey mask is black, and the eyes are glowing, and there's parts of him that are glowing, and there's flame coming out of him.
I love it.
And he's got Lucifer's weapon.
I love it. I love it.
I love it. Quick sidebar: my sister-in-law is a graduate of the Tom Savini makeup school.
What?
Really?
Yes.
What?
Yep.
What does she work on?
Well, she does a lot of freelance work back at home where she lives in Sandusky, Ohio, or around Sandusky, Fremont. Well, she did. I'm not sure if she still does.
Okay.
But that's my wife's sister, my sister-in-law, Mackenzie, she went to that school. Also, her cousin Jenna also went to that school and graduated.
Oh wow!
Jenna does a lot of freelance.
Yeah,
art.
that's
both
right
very
here.
talented artists. Jenna does more with sculpting and stuff. She's really kept up a lot more with it, and a lot of her stuff. She's at the Creative Fox on social media. If you want to check out any of her stuff. She posts a lot of stuff that she made in school and current stuff that she's making now. So definitely give her a follow. She makes some really good stuff. She's very talented.
Dude, that's a whole other thing to unpack and explore. Look, you're opening us up to more episodes, Kyle. I think it is awesome that you have 2 family members that graduated from this school. That is fantastic. I was obsessed with that Face Off show. I really, really liked it. And I'm pissed off that it's not on one of the major streaming networks. I'm not going to get the MGM Plus or whatever the hell I need to get to watch it, because I've seen them, but I want to watch it.
Throw in a quick shameless plug for my almost defunct podcast now, the Barely Alive Show. We actually have interviewed a few people from Face Off. So if you're interested in makeup effects, you want to hear an interview with those people, we did that on our show. It's on.
What was the podcast name?
The Barely Alive podcast. We have done 2 or 3 of them we've had on the show, I think. If you ever wanted to check those out and hear those interviews, it's a good time.
I'm absolutely about this, Kyle.
Just while we're on the subject of makeup effects and stuff like that, and Tom Savini. So I'm done plugging my family.
I do want to give a shout out to Larry Zerner when it comes to this legal battle. He played Shelby in part 3. He's a legal attorney. And so he basically was breaking this down to the fans every day. Something would drop, he would break it down and spell it out what the judge was talking about.
Dude.
I'm if you can send me a link or something
Yeah,
I think
I'm
found
making
your,
sure that at least Apple Podcasts is still accepting my
no,
RSS
well,
feed.
I think it is. I just
Yeah.
looked it up and it was pinging on Apple, so I think I found it. But I definitely want to listen to those episodes.
Yeah,
I'm
I could.
very
I mean,
interested.
I can also do just another quick plug. David Howard Thornton, who played Art the Clown in Terrifier, like we interviewed him too. He's a great voice
What?
artist.
Wow,
So,
dude.
yeah, check those out. Good stuff. Sorry, I know this is your show. Sorry.
Hey,
No,
no,
you're good.
Sorry.
No, we
That's
I
what
think
this is
I
all
think he just
about.
got at least 3 more listeners out of this. So
no, yeah, and Kyle, like I told you, we would prefer to promote other people's stuff on our show. So you're all good, man.
You're
Good
all
stuff,
good.
yeah.
Well, anyways, that's all the time we got today.
We
I
barely
know
got
we
through
could go on
anything.
forever.
That's
Friday
my
the
fault. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're fine, man. You brought.
I
some
had
good
more
stuff.
plugs than a power strip on that one. Sorry.
No, you're talking Savini, man. I love Savini, man.
Yeah.
So I was like, talk
And
away.
that's really cool that your some of your family members actually not only went to the school but graduated. Like that.
yeah, that's really cool.
That's fantastic, man.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for everybody for blowing up the comment section. We
Yeah.
appreciate you guys so much. Keep doing it. Next week we're going to be talking about The Exorcist. All right, we're going to be talking about it. John, you saw my text today. You saw my text. What I thought about it.
Well, look, I'm not going to see the new one because everybody said it was terrible. I'll watch it when it comes streaming. But the original, it's probably been like 10 to 15 years since I've seen it, and I swear I'm going to be so pissed off if you make me watch that movie again.
Dude, this new one, I'll give you my review real quick. It's like watching someone you love fuck someone you hate. That's what that movie is, pretty much.
What I don't understand is why Universal spent so much money on this IP.
Sorry, that was me resetting because I was trying
Because
to process
they
that
have slowly
analogy.
been trying to build their monster movie catalog back up because they want to. Because like, okay, you have your Universal movies, right?
Yeah.
Then they want with James Blum, kind of like their in-house horror movie guy. Plus, Jay Blumhouse is trying to buy part of Atomic Monster, which is James Wan's company. They're trying to build themselves up as the premier horror movie guys.
And Blum just did an interview saying he wants a shot at the 13th sequel.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. I don't know about that.
A24
A24 is doing Crystal Lake.
Peacock. But
Hey,
yeah.
Jesse, put up the comment that Tom Cook just posted.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, hold on. Oh, sorry, my computer is just frozen.
We need a part 2, man. We need a part 2.
Well,
this is where we flip the script, man. Part 2.
I'll tell you what. Because there's a lot of interest in this show, we might have to do a bonus show before the end of the season. So, guys, we'll be in talk. We will be in talk about that because there's definitely a lot of popularity. I mean, like you said, the fan base for Friday the 13th has always been.
It's here.
It's all heart. It really is all heart.
Agreed.
So
agreed.
we'll have to get something set up. All right. But
we didn't
anyway,
get to break down the Jarvis family films. I told Brian to be ready for it, and he had the fucking Bible. Look, he wrote notes, man. He took notes.
I even had the Rotten Tomatoes scores and the Internet Movie Database for the entire freaking franchise right there.
Hold on to them.
Oh,
we will talk.
Yeah.
We will be using those soon. Anyways,
notes, guys. Like, we have to do it. He took the notes.
He took the notes. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm Jesse.
And I'm John.
And you've been sitting at the Grown Up Stable. Thank you, and have an awesome night. Take care, everyone.